We have parents that are ageing and need our support more and more. Some ladies obviously have children. We're working. There's a lot of demands on us. And on top of that, if you're perimenopause or menopause, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with.
This episode is supported by the Bishop Stortford community newsletter. There's so much happening in town, it's hard to keep up. New businesses opening, community events, local stories, and opportunities for all of us to get involved and make Bishop Stortford a great place to live. That's why we created a free weekly newsletter that brings together the best of Bishop Stortford in one place. There's no endless scrolling of hunting through Facebook groups, just the stories, events, and local updates that matter. If you'd like to stay connected to what's happening in Bishop Stortford, sign up using the link in the show notes. Okay, back to the episode. Welcome to the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast, the show where we shine a light on the incredible businesses, community leaders, and local legends shaping our town. I'm your host, James O'Donnell, and today we are joined by Heidi. Heidi, welcome to the show.
Hi, James. Thank you very much for having me.
Not a problem. Heidi, for those of us who don't know you yet, who are you and what do you do here in Bishop Stortford?
So my name's Heidi Barden. And, well, some people might know me. I also volunteer for the Royal British Legion, and I help to run their poppy appeal every year. So I'm often out at the supermarkets, Tesco's mainly, in the lobby there doing some hours. So and at sort of different events in the town and things with the Legions. And then in the past few months, I've also set up a Menopause Café for the town, which has been running, I think, for 7 or 8 months now.
So the Menopause Café, what does that mean?
So it was just really my idea. We have one at work, actually, but it was always online. It was sort of formed from COVID times. I just got to the point, I just really wanted to just connect with other ladies that are going through this slightly crazy time. We have a lot of demands on us at the moment at this time of life. And I didn't want an online forum. I wanted a sort of face-to-face. So I started asking around, and it seems that there sort of used to be one at one of the villages, and then it stopped. So I figured it would be just nice to have one in the town, somewhere we could just meet and connect. So it was really born from that. And I approached Dave and Belle at Belle's place, and the rest is history, as they say. So that's where it kind of started from. Yeah.
I bet it was nervous putting on the first one, seeing who was going to turn up,
yes.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I really did have the feeling, I did think it would just be me, to be honest. I mean, I was actually quite nervous. Belle and Dave were fantastic in that they helped me to set it up. Dave does the posters, they advertise. So we do it all together. But I just thought, Belle and Dave will come across and it'll be me sat there and it'll be lovely and we'll all have a coffee together, but that'll probably be it. So yeah, the fact I think we had 10 or so at the first one was lovely, and Hannah at Café Thyme hosts it. Uh-huh. So I was really keen, for me, it's all about community. Where I live, it sort of matters. I don't just live there. I want to be part of the community and do stuff. So it was just, that's where it started. It was sort of autumn last year. So we hold one every month now. So yeah, it's great.
Brilliant. So what's the format? If I'm out there and I'm listening in and, I've always thought about coming along, but I was a bit worried. What should I expect for my first visit?
So it's very relaxed. As I say, it's a real meetup, and it sounds a bit strange. We don't just sit there and talk about menopause. So it's another community group. Yeah. I also work a lot. Charlie, Charlie Ramnani is fantastic. She's so supportive. So back at New Year, I sort of reconnected with Charlie and asked her if she'd mind advertising the cafes. And she's been coming along. So some of the months we have a speaker. So, for instance, Charlie did one of her talks sort of back in the year, back earlier this year, when she was talking about all the groups she runs for ladies, the walking groups, her drum circles, her women's circles. We've had Belle and Dave have done talks on things like essential oils, crystals. We've had a reflexologist come along. So talking about wellness and obviously trying to look after yourselves at this time of life as well. Some months we don't have a speaker. It's just an informal get together and a chat. So it really just depends. As I say, and I've got some more, that I'd like to invite. There's a lady I'd like to invite, Claire Colston talks about dressing, during menopause, of just colours and what's nice to wear, and if you just ladies need a little bit of sort of help or direction. So I think she's going to come to one as well. As I say, it's very laid back. People come and go. You don't have to stay for the whole thing. It doesn't matter if you're a bit late. It really is just a kind of, Hannah has she does a separate area in Café Thyme where we can just all sit and chat and have breakfast, just a coffee. So it's just a nice meet up.
And when's your next event going to be, Heidi?
Well, what we're doing actually in July, we've been holding them on a Wednesday morning, 9:30 to 11. And I totally appreciate that's great for people who work flexibly or part-time, etc. But we've had a number of ladies contact me to say, they can't make that time in the week they work. So we're actually hosting one early evening. So it's going to be Tuesday, July the 7th from 5 till 7 at Café Thyme again. It's kindly staying open for us. So we're hoping for a nice sunny evening where we can sit outside and enjoy. So there's going to be fantastic cakes and drinks available. Hopefully that will, enable some ladies to come who haven't been able to make previous ones. There'll possibly be a short break then. We possibly won't hold one in August just with the holiday time, but then we'll get going again in the autumn.
Yeah, brilliant. Heidi, it's so wonderful that you're spending energy and your time on, putting this on. And it's what makes our community what it is that people that, go out of their way to invest in the community and make it a better place for all of us. Thank you for doing that. From everyone in the community. It's great.
Thank you. I think some of mine as well. I was co-chair of a carers and parents group at work for a number of years. And I just say I'm very aware, and I'm 51 myself. We have parents that are aging and need our support more and more. Some ladies obviously have children. We're working. There's a lot of demands on us. And on top of that, if you're perimenopause or menopause, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. Being part of the community just really matters to me. I just think it's nice to have those connections. So it's a really kind of tight little band of us now. I feel that, some of us go to Charlie's things. I've made great friends now from the Menopause Café. You bump into people at Belle's. It's just a lovely community. They've been so helpful. I mean, Belle and Dave and Hannah at Café Thyme have been so helpful. It's a real collaboration. We've done it between us. So It's been great.
Yeah. I think, like I said to you before we started recording, is that it's something that I've noticed since doing the podcast, is the amount of collaborations that happen across the different businesses and charities and projects in Bishop Stortford. And I don't know how unique that is to our town, but it's a fantastic thing to talk about and to shine a light on. So, thank you for doing that, Heidi. And, hopefully you can continue, doing them, throughout the rest of the year and into next year and beyond, because I think there's that need for, bringing people together, giving people a safe space where they can come and talk to people.
I actually, as well, which was nice, I made a connection when I sort of went to my own practice nurse to discuss, my menopause. I now send her all the dates. So she actually, I know, at Church Street, the nurse there actually puts these dates and things out again for ladies. So the posters are up if, they can see it there or if they speak to her. So again, I really appreciate her signposting for us as well. So, there's new ladies sort of joining all the time.
Yeah. Well, hopefully by doing the podcast, that can bring some extra eyeballs on there, but also just awareness for people. So, everyone's going to have different needs and different kind of environments that they feel comfortable in talking in. So it's great that you're putting it on and sharing it. And as you said, it's a really lovely little ecosystem there of all those little independents and projects that are supporting each other. Heidi,
yeah.
Thank you for that, and thank you for sharing on the podcast.
Thank you.
Are you ready for some Stortford Spotlight questions now?
I think so. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Fantastic. This episode is being supported by one of my businesses, a brilliant local business called StortBox. If you've ever moved house, you'll know the pain of hunting for cardboard boxes, building them, taping them up, and then figuring out what to do with them afterwards. StortBox makes moving simpler with strong, reusable moving crates delivered straight to your door and collected when you're finished. Less stress, less waste, and a much easier move. It's a local business helping local people move smarter. So have a look at StortBox in the show notes below and see if it can make your next move a little bit easier. Okay, back to the episode. These are 3 super fast questions that we ask every guest that comes onto the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast. Okay. First question. If you could put one sentence on a billboard in Jackson Square, what would it say and who needs to hear it the most?
What would I say? I'd say find your place, find your charity or whatever it is, and get involved. Just get involved, get out there, and just meet people and get involved. Whatever matters to you. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people do that, but some others aren't sure. They don't know what to do. And the idea is you just get out and get involved. You never know who you're going to help or who you're going to support. And it can be a tiniest little thing, but can make massive impact in people's lives.
Really can.
Can't it? Yeah. It really can. That's a lovely message. Thanks, Heidi. Question 2. Where do you go in Stortford that you secretly hope never gets too popular?
I think you've heard this one before, and I'm sorry that I'm going to have to repeat it, but it would be, I think, probably Belle's place for me, because I wish them every success. They thoroughly deserve it. They're lovely people and so helpful, but I hope it stays a tiny little bit of a secret too. Yeah.
It's that kind of spot, isn't it, where you want them to be really successful and to be busy, but you want it to be, you want to be part of that community.
They're a little community hub. Yeah. When we have our events in there, and I go to various things there now that they hold in the evenings, different workshops and things, and it's a community. You can literally just pop in. It doesn't, you don't need to be shopping, or you can just pop in and say hi. And it's a lovely, lovely place.
Yeah, it's refreshing as well. It's just a different space. It's wonderful. Thanks, Heidi. Quick pause, because this episode is supported by StortAI. Most businesses know AI is probably going to help their business in one way or the other. The problem is they're so busy running their business, they don't know where to start. They don't know what questions to ask. That's where StortAI comes in. We sit down with businesses, look at how things actually work day to day, and identify simple ways to save time, reduce admin, and improve systems using AI and other automation tools. There's no jargon or complicated technology. It's just practical ideas to make life just a little bit easier as a business owner. If you're curious about what AI could do for your business, have a look at StortAI in the show notes. Okay, back to the episode. Last question. Who's doing something special in town that more people need to know about?
I think there's a lot. I think Stortford has lots of people that are doing stuff. I think with my other hat on, I would say the committee, and especially our secretary on the Royal British Legion. I think before I joined them, I would have naturally just assumed it was sort of, poppy time, 2 weeks a year, very busy, and then goes to nothing. And that couldn't be further from the truth. So probably I'd say Terry Archer, our secretary, is just an absolute powerhouse. And there's so much work to do all the time. And she is so helpful. But for all of my fellow committee members, I'd say actually our branch of the Royal British Legion.
We must, if you can help me, Heidi, get them on the podcast to share a little bit more about what they do, because I assume other people have the same opinion that you do of what they do, and actually they do so much more. So let's talk about it. Let's share that story in public. You can be my booking agent on that one.
I will. I'll do that.
Thank you. Where's the best place for people to follow along with what you're doing with the Menopause Café? Make sure they don't miss out on future times.
At the moment, so Dave and Belle are certainly advertising. They do the posters for me. I haven't actually got round to yet doing a Facebook page, I have to say. I wasn't really sure this would kind of take off in some ways. So it's been a pleasant surprise. It has, I guess. So I always as well advertise on, we have now a menopause WhatsApp group. So if ladies come along and obviously want to join that, they're more than welcome to. I always put it on the community page of the Stortford Facebook group. And I use Nextdoor. I put it on Nextdoor as well. So always put the latest posters and details on there. Or obviously people can contact me directly. That's not a problem at all. I'm on Facebook. So
fantastic. Well, I'm sure people will reach out and make contact, and we're going to share Belle's place on the show notes anyway. But just in case people want to reach out, we'll do that. And if you do set up a Facebook page, let me know and I can reshare it out to the community.
Thank you.
That's not a problem. Heidi, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me, James.
Not a problem. If you've enjoyed this episode, the best way that you can support the show is to hit follow, leave a quick review on YouTube, Apple or Spotify, and then share it on your socials so more people know about what Heidi's doing with the Menopause Café. And maybe share it in town with someone who's not on social media but you think might be interested in popping along. If you've got another local legend as well, someone else who's putting on groups, events, projects in town that make the community a better place that you think we should feature on the podcast, drop their name in the comments and I can reach out to them and invite them on. That's what I did with Heidi. So drop someone's name below. you never know, they could be on the podcast next week. Again, Heidi, thank you so much for joining us on the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast.
Thanks, James.
Thanks,
Bye.
Heidi. Bye-bye.
Bye.